Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick review of the newly reformulated YSL Rouge Pur Couture lipsticks. I am getting a chance to try them through Influencer. A few of you might remember if you watched this review as well, when I did a review of the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Perfector and then the primer with the gold flecks in it that they had. Neither of those were my cup of tea, so I'm excited to get a chance to try some more kind of color cosmetics from the brand because I don't have a lot of experience with what is a pretty well-known luxury brand. So I gave these a go and want to share my thoughts and maybe some comparisons with you along the way. So these lipsticks retail for $36 a piece. That is no chump change. It's pretty comparable with the YSL brand as a whole, which everyone will know is a luxury brand, so that's kind of to be expected. But if you're going to spend that much on a lipstick, it had better be top notch. So going into this whole review, I was kind of thinking if there is one flaw, it's pretty much not worth it, because for $36 it should pretty much be perfection. I have two shades to share with you. One is the one on my lips right now, and what I've actually worn in the past few videos, like throughout October. It's number 9 and it is Rose Stiletto, which they describe as a rich berry rose. And the other one I have is, it shows on Sephora's website, it's showing as a limited edition shade, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it's number 19, which is fuchsia. As you might imagine, it is a bright pinky purple. So you can see from the outside, really every aspect of this is kind of luxury, from the gold plated, not real gold obviously, but the color gold plated with the YSL logo. It's a pretty hefty, like weighted packaging, so it definitely doesn't feel like a flimsy product. And then it's not a magnetized closure, or there's no like snap to feel that it's actually closed. So there is kind of a worry that it's going to come open should you travel with it, but it is pretty sturdy. Like there is some resistance when you try and pull it up and push it down. So I think you'll be able to see in the demo that it applies super smoothly. The formula is very creamy. It feels very nourishing on the lips, like over the course of the wear time. It's very hydrating and nourishing, and it also contains an ingredient, I think it's like yeast extract, that is supposed to actually encourage cell turnover. So if you already have dry, flaky lips, it's going to help kind of slough that off in the long term. But at the same time, if you have those dry, flaky lips, like I definitely have over the course of the summer-fall transition, it's not going to emphasize that. It still lays just as smoothly and evenly over kind of in-need lips as it does over lips that are like super smooth and perfect already. So it glides on smoothly. It's very opaque, but it's also still a very light texture. It doesn't feel super heavy on the lips, and it's not super sticky on the lips. Some lipsticks with that kind of satin or balmy finish can have a stickier texture, and that's not the case with this. But that being said, you will definitely experience some transfer with this. As you'll be able to see after the demo, I put my finger up to my lips. You can see it definitely comes off. So you can't expect this to act like a super long wear lipstick. I noticed that it weathered drinking pretty well. Like I see it on my glasses, it definitely comes off, but the color itself stays. The finish kind of wears away, but the color itself stays. It's not until I eat that I notice the most amount of wear, like you would with any lipstick, and then I'll have to go in and reapply. And this isn't a formula that stains your lips. For those of you that don't like any stain that's left behind, it completely comes off. Even the bright fuchsia shade, I didn't experience any staining with that. All in all, I would say I get between 3 and 4 hours of wear out of these, depending on how much drinking I'm doing, if I'm snacking, things like that. Overall though, I have to say, there are no flaws with this lipstick. It's a really, really beautiful formula where it's nice and light. You can layer it up, but it doesn't get cakey on your lips. Even if you have like some dry, flaky texture going on, it works really well with that. And then it has ingredients that are super nourishing, so it helps you get out of that phase. The only quality that I think might be off-putting to some about these is the fragrance. It definitely has a distinctive scent, and it's actually pretty strong. These are probably some of the most strongly fragranced lipsticks I've ever tried. And so there is kind of a slight taste as a result of that. It's a really hard fragrance to nail down though. Like it's not specifically floral or fruity or candy-like. It's almost like floral watermelon, if that makes any sense. I don't know, maybe you can describe it better in the comments below, but floral watermelon is what I got. Anywho, that is probably the biggest deterrent to me. It doesn't personally bother me, but I do know that some people who are sensitive to that might not care for it because, like I said, these are some of the most strongly fragranced lipsticks I have ever tried. So all in all, I would say if you are looking to splurge on a luxury lipstick, you know, look for your perfect shade. This range obviously has quite a few shades to pick from. I personally really like number 9. It's a very flattering shade. It's perfect for me for fall. It's like a Your Lips But Better shade, but gives them a slightly deeper brown undertone. So it's a nice kind of richer Your Lips But Better shade for me. But I think these could be worth it if you find the shade that works for you. It's your go-to, you always wear it, you can always count on it to complete your look. In my mind, that would make this totally worth the splurge. I do want to make some comparisons just in case, like me, you are not as familiar with YSL, but you have tried some other sort of luxury brands out there. Well, actually, that I should take those away. Some of these are legit luxury brands. For instance, Charlotte Tilbury also has a satin lipstick line as well as a matte, but as far as the two compare, I would say the Charlotte Tilbury satin lipstick is a little bit drier. As a result, it can kind of tug at the lips a little bit more. It's a little bit heavier when layering, but it also has a little bit of a longer lasting power, I find, and transfers less. Another interesting comparison, or almost honestly almost dupe, are the Urban Decay Revolution lipsticks. And I say dupe not only because of the formula. First, let's start with the formula. The Urban Decays are significantly heavier, I would say. They're a thicker cream texture. They have a slightly higher shine when it comes to the formula, but that thicker consistency, I find, once again, helps it take a little bit longer to wear off, and I don't find them quite as nourishing as the YSL. And keep in mind, that's the original Revolution lipstick. I know they have mattes, they have sheers. There are different variations on this formula that might play differently with your lips than the original formula, but strictly speaking, as far as similar formulas to the YSL goes, the original Revolution lipstick formula is just a little bit thicker, and I find a little bit less hydrating and nourishing. The dupe factor comes in when I was looking through the Revolution lipsticks I have, and I found they're very similar color dupes. For instance, this limited edition number 19 from the YSL is super duper similar to Anarchy from Urban Decay, and I'll show you a close-up here, but I mean, you just look at the two side by side. This is Urban Decay and this is the YSL. Very, very similar, but I think you will be able to say the difference, or see the difference in the high shine. And Anarchy is quite a bit pinker. There's a little bit more purple and depth to the YSL, but very similar. And the Urban Decay is about $16 cheaper than the YSL. And there is also a very similar dupe for number 9, or the color that's on my lips from YSL, and that is Manic from Urban Decay. So here you can see the YSL is right here. Here's the Urban Decay. This is a less strong dupe, I would say. The Urban Decay is a little bit deeper, whereas the YSL is a little bit more pink and lighter. But like I said, $16 difference, very, very similar. So like I said, I just wanted to point that out, not just because they are very close shade dupes, but to also give you a point of reference for formulas in case you are more familiar with something like Urban Decay's Revolution lipsticks and less with YSL's. There is a definite difference between the consistency, how much it nourishes your lips, and how long the lasting power is. I wouldn't call the formulas a dupe despite how close the colors are. It's more so just to give you a baseline so you can understand what the YSL formula is like before you buy. So those are my thoughts on the YSL Rouge Pur Couture lipsticks. I'm really happy to find a product that I really like from the brand, especially after the other two products that I've tried kind of fell flat. Really excited about that. It is super steep. I just recommend that if you are looking for kind of your high-end luxury lipstick, this is a great one to go with. If you can find like your everyday go-to, know it's gonna work lip color, I think it's totally worth the splurge. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.